We take a look at Hume Football, the excitement of the season. A week off, recharge the batteries. A few people going to watch some other footy in Albury up at Wagga. It was an opportunity to rest up to for some and get ready for the ride home. And Phil Bouffler is with us. He loves this Hume footy, the president, and he joins us now. G'day, Phil. How are you?
Good, Wayne. How are you going? Had a bit of rain this week. I was away for a little while, but it was good. The crops have improved. A little bit cool here today, so things are looking pretty good, really.
Yeah, real good. And I'll tell you, from round 11 matches, I think Holbrook are looking pretty good. A quick comment, 14-14 to 7-7 over the Lions.
Played well, Holbrook. Good win. One away from home, so Holbrook travelling pretty well. And actually, quickly on Holbrook, we just said in the paper today that Matt Sharp, their coach, is stepping down. So this will be his last season. He'll stay on as a coach, and they've appointed Andrew McKinlay and Josh Jones as joint coaches. So that's a bit of a succession plan at Holbrook.
Good to hear. McKinlay's been a dynamic player for them, so very, very good selection. And then CDHBU, this was right on. This is the top six stuff. 10-8 over Jindera 7-7. At Kareen, the power, and I think you had a bit of commentary about maybe their solar battery wasn't working out there, but they got working this time and got over the Bulldogs.
Probably one of their better wins for the season, Wayne. A good win against Jindera. They both needed to win that game, so Jindera will be disappointed, but that's a very good win by the Power.
Very good win now. This one that Lockhart dropped to the Billabong Crows. The Crows 10-12-72 to 10-9-69. A fascinating duel between two near neighbours. And I'll tell you what, I think a bit of surprise at Lockhart. And was there a fair bit of disappointment at the ground after the game that I've heard?
Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit disappointed with that. There was a little bit of wind. Lockhart had the wind in the first quarter. I was at this game, and they didn't really make use of it. And I forced to battle the two quarters. They were into the wind. They sort of battled a bit, so played well, but they just didn't take advantage of the wind. So, arguably they're a bit stiff there, but well done to the Crows.
I'll tell you what, Georgie Sandrell, fantastic. I hear that in the break, I think he got married. Is that right?
I think he's engaged. I think I saw somewhere he became engaged, maybe.
All right. Well, it was terrific for him because he came off some good form, and nice to hear that. The Lockhart boys will be disappointed. There's still a chance to play finals footy. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Henty went down to Brock Burham, 12-6-78 to 8-6-54. Brock Burham have won, I think, 6 of their last 7 games, and I'll tell you what, they're on.
Playing well, so they just got to keep winning. It's as simple as that. And they've sort of come back with a vengeance, so they've been playing really well. Henny be disappointed at home, losing, but a very good win to the Brock Burham side.
Now, the damaging scoreline, the hard one for everyone to read, is Osborne 43-22. Unless you're an Osborne supporter, you'd love it. 43-22 to Murray Magpies 3-2. Not a lot to be said, except that Osborne all played well.
Look, there's the sort of the top and the bottom of the ladder, really, Wayne, so there's a bit of a divide. The Magpies, as I say every week, they try hard, but just haven't got the players. So they'll be up and about recruiting. Osborne, they just find whatever gear they need and off they go. So very good win.
And this Howlong side, they're really playing good footy. 12-13 to Ranwa Bunrywalla 5-5. These Giants, they didn't score in the last quarter, and they allowed Howlong to go away with a game that they were in at three-quarter time, still with some outside chance, but the Spiders just went away.
Funny game, we play this next week and the reverse happens. The Giants get up, so just shows the competition, how even it is really, and who could win on any given day. But that's a very good win by Howlong, especially at Wallbundry. Howlong, they'll be playing at Wallbundry this year, Howlong. There's no spots of maybes about that, but the Giants will be disappointed.
Tell you what, the premiership table, no disappointment in the canola fields. Osborne 11 and a zip, and at the top of the ladder. I noticed just over the way at the Rock, Yarran Creek, up in the Farrer, they're also on the same win-loss ratio. It must be something in the cropping over your way.
Could be something, Wayne. I don't know. We might have to look into that. I'm not sure about that.
It's a great result, though, isn't it, for both those clubs, near neighbours in a sense geographically, to be leading both of their competitions?
Playing well, so I haven't really followed the Farrer League a lot, to be truthful, but I think they've struggled a bit, the Rock, so they're having a very good season this year, so to be undefeated like that, it's a great effort. And, well done to them.
Excellent stuff. Osborne clearly 3 games ahead at the moment, or 2.5 of Holbrook. Holbrook looking okay. You mentioned about their coaching changes and the succession plan. Good stuff. How long? I think is still a real show for that top 2.
Yeah, it's only half a game out of that, so it's just going to be funny. It just depends how the draw sort of suits both of these sides. So at the end of the day, you look at that ladder now, the top three are probably a lock, and then the 4 to sort of 8, it's interesting down there. So it's just, there's a lot of footy to be played about this, and every game's an important game each week. So there'll be upsets, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, well, CDHBU, I think technically and mathematically can get to top 2. Don't think they will, but I think they can make the finals, which is that win was so important over Jindera. Brock Burham in 5th. I think they're finals bound. They're in good form and haven't been losing. And then Ramble Bundry Waller, they are the big one to watch. They, I think, are very susceptible in position 6th. Jindera or Lockhart could take that position off of them.
Well, you've got 5, 6 and 7 separated by percentage weight. It's just unbelievable. Then you've got the side above them, 1 game ahead, and the side below is 2 games behind. So it's just it's a very close draw. This and the Crows are only another 2 points behind Lockhart. So I think it's probably Heady a little bit too far out. They're on 12, but theoretically, Billabong 9 to 4, 4 to 9 are still in play. The last 2 positions.
They are. I think the Crows' issue is that they've got a very poor percentage, likewise Henty. But you look at Lockhart at 109 and you look at Jindera at 103 and at Warramwa Bundry Waller at 110, you see why Lockhart are still a show, because if they win games, their percentage would go up. And likewise for Warramwa Bundry Waller and Jindera, as they get joined on, say, premiership points, Lockhart could still do it. That is a fascinating part of the draw.
To compare Lockhart and Jindera, for instance. So Jindera plays Holbrook this week. There's every chance Holbrook should win that. Lockhart played the Murray Magpies, so there's a percentage booster on its own. So all of a sudden, next week there's 4 points between them with Lockhart on a lot bigger percentage. So it's fascinating. Excuse me.
It is very fascinating, and one we're going to watch as we look at the fixture for this week. These are the games. How long play Osborne? This is the moment of truth for the Spiders. Can anybody knock over in the home and away season this mighty Tigers outfit? Last year they didn't get defeated in the home and away. This year they're still undefeated. A remarkable couple of seasons from Osborne.
Unbelievable, really. So they're still disappointed they didn't carry on with the win last year. I think, how long at home? So this is a big test. How good are they? Will they be up to finals footy? And this we'll know a lot more after this Saturday. But I think Osborne, they've been doing what they need to do. And I think they've got a good side in. They'll be too strong.
All right, the Olympic Highway Cup, it's Henty versus Calcan. I'll tell you what, they'll be hoping at Henty, those Swampies, to hold on to it. But up there where that magnificent bakery is, as one crosses the railway line, I reckon this is going to be a lot closer. And I think that Calcan, the Lions, might just shock Henty this game.
Not a lot, they've been a bit disappointing this year, Calcan. But and they've won a couple of good games. Henny have been up and down a bit, so this is a very close game. Near neighbours, old Farrell League rivals. Might be a lot of love lost here. I think I'm going to slightly lean towards Henty simply for the fact that it's at Henty at home.
And what about Jindera? A big game for them, for the Bulldogs. They've got Holbrook. They are in great form. Holbrook puts Jindera away. Suddenly, in come Lockhart with a real chance.
That's a possibility. So once again, Wayne, you can only tip on form. Holbrook's playing very good football. Jindera a little bit up and down for my liking, so I think I'll have to stick with Holbrook. I think they could get up here.
The Lockhart people take the long road trip down to Albury. They might even pop out after the kids' game and do some shopping and then come back for the big one against the Murray Magpies. The kids, I don't think, will be playing, so therefore they might do the shopping when the kids would have been playing, and the Lockhart side will come home with a big percentage booster.
I think Lockhart will be too strong. Very impressed. I listened to their coach last week and very impressed with how he's coaching and how they're responding to him. He's instigated a great turnaround in there. So I think Lockhart will be too strong here. That Lockhart to win there.
All right, these two sides, the Billabong Crows and Brock Burham. Last time they met over at the Crowland, the Crows upset the might of the Saints. Can it happen again?
No, I don't think it can happen again. They played well last week, the Crows, or a couple of weeks ago, the Crows, and they beat Lockhart, so that was a good win for them, and they're pretty pumped about it all. But since you put the mocker on the Brock Burham seniors, they've come home with a wet sail, Wayne. So I'm not sure what you've done there. Your motivational list has been unbelievable. So 5 out of 6, I think you said they won. So just once again on form, I just think Brockborough might get home here. I think that's probably the game I'll go to, I think. It'll be a good game, this.
Oh, magnificent. I reckon she'll go right down to the wire at Urana. There'll be a big crowd, I reckon, there too for it. CDHBU get round Wabundri Walla at Kareen. Another match of the round. If you were trying to pick which of the two was the match of the round, these two for round Wabundri Walla. A loss here again opens the door for the clubs below them. But CDHBU, I think, can win at home.
They need to win this game. That's as simple as that. So both these clubs need to win this game. They really do. Both of them have been up and down, so it's a bit of a sort of a pig and a poke here. But given that the good win by the CDHBU against Yindra a couple of weeks ago at Holbrook and the Giants lost, well, I just think once again I'm going to have to go with form here. So at home, I think the Power might get up.
All right, it's a big, big game of football. It's a massive weekend. Hume Football back after a break. Phil Bouffler is inspired. Which game are you heading to, Phil?
I think I'll go down to the Billabong Crows or the CDHBU. I haven't made up my mind yet, mate. It'll just depend what I'm up to. And that's so I'll go to a local game or one of the closer ones. So, So I think it's interesting. I had a lot of comment from people who I ran into down the street in Lockhart and just around the place that, how much everyone enjoyed having the break. Having a bye in the school holidays has been a great innovation, and I think it's one we'll probably stick with because it's good to kids get away. Some people have gone down to the footy. Up to the snow and stuff like that. So I just think it's a bit of a reset and we get ready for the charge home for the final. So good luck for all teams playing.
Yeah, very good point. And nicely said. Phil Bouffler, love having you on board our Friday night sports show.
Thanks, Wayne.